Hi, Sadie. So this is your general reading. This is order 2709. Thank you for your patience. I am so sorry. So I started shuffling already. I think you kind of know how my readings work, but this is energy that I'm reading as of right now in this moment. Energy is always changing and flowing. So as soon as you start making decisions, then this is going to change, okay? But if you have any questions or anything, let me know. Also, I would recommend to maybe watch this by yourself first, and then after that, if you wish to share it with somebody, you're more than welcome to. You can rewatch it as many times as you want. It's your reading. It's whatever you wish to do with it, okay? But there's a lot coming out. You got a lot going on. The first card in this deck, I'm going to pause between decks as well, just to save a little bit of time. Also, let me know how this is resonating too. So the first card that came out was Devoted. So this kind of sums you up as a person. You are very, devoted as an individual. You are very affectionate towards those you love. You're very tender as far as your heart is concerned. You wear your heart on your sleeve. You're very attentive to other people's feelings. I believe you're an empath. And you are very loyal to those that gain your trust. Does that sound like you? So as far as like being an empath, there's a difference between being an empath and being empathetic. So you're both. So when somebody is going through emotions, if you get too close to them, you will actually start feeling how they are feeling. So you're feeling what they are going through. That's being an empath. Being empathetic is sympathizing with that individual situation, which you do as well from a distance. But if they're right there close to you, if you get too close, you start feeling what they're feeling and going through that. So what I would suggest is, if you haven't seen my video about an empath bubble, I would recommend to try and do that. As far as like an empath bubble, let me go over it quickly, but kind of in a nutshell, what you want to do is kind of envision a bubble barrier around you when you go around others. Sorry, I gotta fix this. So it's kind of like a protective shield around you. Don't have it too close to you when you first start it, because it's harder to control. So start envisioning this bubble when you go outside about maybe 3 feet away from you, protecting you from everyone's emotions. Put it out to the universe and physically and mentally think about it when you go out in public. Okay? As you harness this and start noticing a difference, visualize it 2 feet away from you so that nobody can come within your bubble to affect you. So as long as they're outside that boundary that you set, they can't influence how you are feeling as far as like how they're feeling being transferred over to you, because you got your bubble up. So once you perfect this, then when you go out into public, you'll just automatically throw it up like a shield, and you don't have to worry about it. For those people that you're around that you trust, you'll just automatically drop it. So just as a heads up, just caution with that, but try it. It's hard to get control of it at first, but I feel like you can. Healing is the next card, and it came out sideways. So this one here, when my cards come out sideways, it means that it's like past, present, and future. And this one here, since it's facing this way, it's in reverse. So I feel like you're struggling a little bit with self-love, because this card here on the bottom, there's self-love, there's vulnerable, and unblocking chakras. So I have a feeling that you're looking after yourself, but you're not looking after yourself at the same time. So maybe eating habits aren't the best at the minute. I don't think you're getting enough sleep by the sounds of things. And you just need to take a little bit more care into yourself, because how can you help others with having your cup empty? So it's just like drinking water out of a glass, right? So if it's empty, how can you drink more? Okay? So you have to have your cup full so that you can give to others. Make sense? So just make sure that you're still working on yourself. And the unblocked chakras is sticking out to me too. I think you might be having trouble expressing yourself. So your throat chakra, you might be having trouble expressing yourself, getting your point across in certain situations. So try and maybe do a little bit of groundwork and try and help unblock that throat chakra that's going on, okay? Tranquility is in reverse. So tranquility is about like solitude, reflection, going within. Again, this is kind of like your self-care card. So you're not really looking after yourself right now. You're worrying about everybody else because that's just naturally who you are. But at the same time, you're wearing yourself very thin. And I'm getting huge goosebumps right now. So you reflect onto others how you are. So you need to look after yourself so that you can look after others. I should take this advice. So just as a heads up, okay? So the going within is, I don't think you truly know how powerful you could actually be, because I don't think you believe it, okay? It's going to come at some point. It's just a matter of time. Now, graduate came out. So graduate, it can be about like career growth. It can be about schooling. It can be going back to school. I have a feeling that this is about possibly more than one thing as far as like growing as an individual and having like graduating up kind of idea. All right. Empress came out sideways, but it's an upright. So Empress is divine feminine energy. Everyone has masculine energy. Everybody has feminine energy. So you right now have, I think, more feminine energy coming out versus masculine. So feminine energy is like nurturing, caring, empathetic, those sorts of vibes, like mommy vibes, okay? So you need to maybe balance out a little bit more and bring more masculine energy to the table at some point in time with certain situations. It's going to take practice. You're probably going to be feeling very uncomfortable when you start doing this. So the whole masculine energy is like standing up for yourself and like being rough and tough and like burly man kind of deal. Okay. So that's kind of how I'm feeling for you, is that if there's any confrontation with anything, you tend to shy away from it. So you kind of have to have that masculine energy come through a little bit more to balance you out a little bit. Cheers came out next, and shortly after that, Rainbow came out. So the Cheers card it can be about a celebration of some sort. It can be about some sort of social gathering. This is in the middle of the deck. So this is either going to be happening very shortly or it just occurred. Birthday comes to mind. I don't know why birthday comes to mind, but did you just have a birthday for somebody? And then the rainbow is about divine purpose, gratitude, happy family, work life, those sorts of things. I think the cheers in this tie into one. So whatever you were the social gathering or celebration of some sort, it was involving either your work life or your family life to celebrate that. Let me know how that resonates too, by the way. Fire came out. So I think you are a fire sign, or at least fire in your chart. So Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. This is about having that little spark as well, and knowing what you can accomplish, because deception came out. And then defense came out. So the deception card is about lies, betrayals, and secrets. I think that you are kind of leery about some of the stuff that's been going on in your life, and you're like, I don't know if I can trust this. And the defense is you throwing your walls up because of this deception card. So whoever this is representing, your defenses are up because of it. So it's kind of, I think you're self-sabotaging a little bit with this. So work it through and see if it's truly, are they deceiving you? First of all, and B, is it on purpose, or is it intentional, or is it unintentional? Because I don't know kind of how it fits into that. Soulmate came out sideways. So I don't know if the deception card and the defenses card is regarding somebody that you perceive as a soulmate. Now, soulmates come in all shapes and forms. So there's like pet soulmates, there's family soulmates, there's romantic soulmates. a bunch of different kinds of soulmates. So it's like your soul tribe. It should bring warmth, and it should bring strong connections and those sorts of things. Now, when it came out sideways, it was facing this way. So it's like it's in reverse. So this is, I think, in regards to your deception and defenses, because it's in reverse. So whoever the soulmate card is representing, you're self-sabotaging, I think, this soulmate bond that you got going on. So this is towards the end of the deck. So if it hasn't really happened yet, it's probably going to be happening shortly. So just be cautious of that. If it hasn't exploded yet, then just kind of keep this in the back of your mind so that you can respond appropriately, okay? Because I just don't want anything to kind of happen, because I think this person is very important to you in your life in one way or another. It's just a matter of how you're going to react to this. Depends on how it's going to kind of play out. The next card and last card of this deck was Moon. So this is about divinity. So whole. It's just a phase. So when this does come up, if it has come up already, or if it's going to be coming up, you guys, I think, depending on how you resolve it, again, cards don't go by our timeline. They kind of go by their own timeline. But this is about completing that cycle. It's gonna come. It's gonna come. You're gonna get over it. It's just gonna be, you're still gonna be whole. You're still gonna have that connection, I think, with this person. It just might not be as it once was. Hopefully that makes sense. And it's one of those things that, unfortunately, I think you're gonna have to go through, because it might be a life lesson of some sort. The bottom of this deck was Air. So right now, this is kind of all up in the air. That's what I'm kind of gathering from this card. And notice the heart. That really stuck out to me. So again, whoever this is representing, I think you really care for them quite a bit. And then the next card was Strategy. So making a plan, keeping your eye on the prize, being organized, those sorts of things. So knowing how you're going to act during situations and things. So let me pause. Let me grab another deck, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm in the middle of shuffling this deck, and I think this little tiff with this person has already happened because of the cards that are coming out, and I think it's weighing really heavy on you. And I think that's why this reading is happening now versus when it happened before, because I think it's pretty fresh by the looks of things. Because with this card, with these cards, man. Okay, we're gonna go over them, but let me finish shuffling. Yeah, air sign came out again. So I think this person might be an air sign or air in their chart. So Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. Let me know how that resonates. But it could be meaning like this is still kind of all up in the air because the universe doesn't know how you guys are going to resolve it yet. Oh dear. Okay. So with this deck, the first card that came out was Party and External. So it's like a third party situation that's going on. I think somebody got into somebody else's head, and that's how this kind of all came about. That's how I'm reading that. Is some sort of outside influence that are influencing you two. And the conflict that's kind of happening right now, I don't know what all transpired, but it's really affecting you and it's messing with you up here. You're having sleepless nights too, aren't you? Are you having weird dreams? Let me know. So, Rebirth and Winter came out in reverse. So I think that this is meaning that it happened in the wintertime. Like, we're just getting through winter right now. So I feel like this just, again, it just kind of is a sign to me saying it just happened. And it could also mean, since it came out in reverse, that it's not going to get fully resolved until like summertime, since like summer is the reverse of winter. So just, again, keep your head held high, stand your ground, and you got this. So Contracts, Careers, and Commitments came out next. So this is, again, kind of relating back to the Graduate card, where it's about your career. It's about your commitments. It's about you graduating up and having those contracts. It's not just something that's just a willy-nilly contract. It's something binding. It's like a legal contract of some sort where you are leveling up on something, okay? So the next card is Reunion and Soul Ties in reverse. This is in relation to this other person. So kind of mentioning with the other deck, I'm not going to go over it again. There's some sort of control tactics going on. Somebody wants to control somebody else with how their thoughts and feelings are happening. I think you're kind of trying to give into it, but you know deep down that it's not quite right. So you feel like you're caught between a rock and a hard place and that you're drowning a little bit because water came out, okay? So just receive and open yourself to what they kind of have to say, but at the same time, I think you're right to have your defenses up. You just need to work through the process on your own terms and use your own intuition, because you have a strong intuition. Use your own intuition on how things are going to play out and be true to yourself, okay? Always be true to yourself. There's the air sign that I was talking about before. Seeds in Spring came out. So the Seeds in Spring is about, again, just growing. It can actually represent you having an awakening at some point during the springtime. But at the same time, what you can do is have like, just buy a package of seeds and buy a little pot of some sort. Nurture those seeds, and as they grow, visualize you growing with them, and visualize whoever this is representing growing with you to hopefully help bring you guys back together, okay? Because messages and communication came out. I think this is involving your dreams, okay? So there's some sort of messages going on with what your guides are trying to tell you. They're trying to communicate something to you to kind of help you with this situation. I believe it's through dreams. Try and keep a dream journal. Keep a journal beside your bed so that you can record what you can recall from dreams. So the things that are important, I'm not a dream interpreter by any stretch of the imagination, but some of the things that can be important in dreams is, where were you? Who were you with? What were you doing in the dream? Plants, animals. Were you looking at yourself through your eyes, or were you looking at yourself from above or below? So it just kind of depends on the point of view as well. I believe that's very important as well. So if anything's repeating, I think that's a message from your guides, okay? Getting goosebumps. So transcendence and unity. So this is about you balancing yourself out, because again, right now you're kind of all over the place. So you need to, again, bring that balance back into your life, ground yourself, get back outside, comes to mind, and stop limiting yourself. You're scared of what's going to happen, I think, with this card. So you're, I think, limiting yourself. So you can't control what other people do. You can only control your actions, your words, and what you do yourself. Whatever they do is up to them. So you have the limitations and fears of, well, if I don't do this, then this might happen, and this might happen, or this might happen. But at the same time, is that valid to think like that? Because you can't control what they do. You can only control what you do. Okay? So keep that in the back of your mind. Earth came out. You're getting all the signs there, dude. So Earth, I think for you, is about getting back to nature, getting back to grounding, getting back to who you are, dipping your toes in the sand kind of deal. Okay? So I don't know why I just said that. That was kind of weird and random. So again, just kind of balancing yourself back out so that you can focus on yourself, your self-worth. You know what you bring to the table. You know your value. So don't let anybody diminish that. Okay? Higher self-activation. You're going to be going through, yeah. You're going to be going through a spiritual awakening again because of that card. And you might be a little bit confused. You might have some illusions going on. So those rose-scented glasses, again, with everything that's happening, just make sure that you're taking them off so that you can see it clearly, okay? See things for what they truly are versus how you want to perceive them. I think that'll be very important as well. Bottom of the deck is Autumn and Harvest. So, remember the seeds. Where's that card? Remember the seeds that you're planting in the spring. You will start noticing a difference, I think, in the fall because of the harvest card. So what do we do with plants? What do farmers do? They plant the seeds, they nurture them, they let them grow, and then in the fall, they harvest them. So same idea for you, okay? So you need to harness that in energy and nurturing so that you can grow and then you can harvest it later on and know what your value is and know where you stand 6 months from now, okay? The other bottom deck card I think is very important as well. So it's distance. It's about retreat and a timeout. So slowing down because you're drowning, okay? So slow down, think things through, and again, the timeout is about you doing self-reflection and doing self-care, okay? So just keep working on that. I'm going to do one more deck. One sec. Okay. So, Tarot. First thing that came out was the High Priestess. I am not shocked to see this card, and I'm not shocked to see some of the other ones that came out. So, the High Priestess. High Priestess is about dreams, powerful visions, psychic insight. It's also about meditation. It's about intuition. What was I all saying in the last cards? Okay. So you have the answers that you seek, and by following the truth, you will find them. Okay. So trust your intuition, and this is representing the dreams that I think you are having. Okay. Now, not surprised by this card either. I am having huge goosebumps right now. Three of Cups. Three of Cups is about friendships. It's about abundance. It's also about like community too. It can symbolize like closeness with siblings. So it could be a sibling that you view as a friend as well. Okay. So this is about communication and celebration, and it's also about soul contracts. So this is representing a lot of the stuff that I've already mentioned. Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups is about being extremely intuitive. I'm not surprised by this card either with how I was feeling with your energy. This is about being attuned. It's about emotional intelligence. It's about love and compassion, sensitivity, strength, empathy, leading with your heart. Now, Queen of Swords kind of threw me for a loop, but it was in reverse. So Queen of Swords, when it's in reverse, is about sharp and sometimes cold communication. You're having some cold communication with this other individual, aren't you? Because of this card, that's what I'm kind of feeling. So with this is about you're striving to use your words wisely. You pick your battles, choose your words wisely, or else it's going to stab you in the back, okay? So try and refrain from being mean or emotional, because I have a feeling that it's going to backfire if you do, okay? So this is about like an indifference, and it's a message to use your head more and your heart less based upon what's going on, okay? So it might bring about bitterness as well, okay? So just caution. Know that you're the magician though. So the magician is about skills, natural talents. It's about manifestation and creativity, being resourceful. It's about manifesting the life that you desire through the energy and action. So choosing your words wisely around this other individual and following your intuition is going to lead you to the right pathway. All right. Now, Three of Wands is next. So this is about energy manifested. You're just waiting for the results to happen. And it's about like, you're waiting for the results of your efforts to be like transpired. Okay. And it's like, finally understanding your ambitions, and it's an improvement and moving in the right direction. So there's progress that's going to be being made. Okay. It's again, just, it's all kind of bleh right now. So the bottom of the deck can go one of two ways, I feel like. Okay. So it can either be the Five of Cups, because that's on the bottom, or it can be the Four of Wands, depending on how you choose your words and how this other individual chooses their words and actions. So Five of Cups is about grieving. It's about disillusions. It's about disappointment, bitterness, feeling betrayed. It can also be about like wallowing in a little bit of self-pity. And it can also signify a broken heart. Okay, now the other aspect, so that's one route. The other route is the Four of Wands. So the Four of Wands is about a celebration. It's about, and it's an important event or a milestone for you guys as individuals and as like your soul ties. Okay, so this is about, it can be about a gathering of kindred spirits. Okay, so this other individual. It also can be about stability in the home or a relationship. It can sometimes signify marriage, but I don't think that's where we're headed with this. This is more about like a milestone and knowing where you guys are sitting, and it's a celebration because you guys are actually working things out and you have worked things out. So it's going to either be this way or it's going to be this way. So again, just kind of depending on how you guys go about doing things. Please let me know how this resonates with you, because everything kept coming up the same idea, especially with the tarot. So all the best to you. You got this. You know what you're doing. You know what you have to do. Talk to you later.